Okay.
And that one's still going. All
And
right.
the iPhone is still going.
iPhone.
The iPhone's getting all the beeping and the dancing. And
I think you were cut off, but like, I could hear you beep.
yeah.
All right.
Beep, 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 beep.
So what was the mid-sentence? What were you going for?
Um.
I was taken off by the dancing.
Yeah. I got distracted.
But you were talking about how.
Oh, yeah. Even when I was like under 10 years old, people would tell me that I acted like a 40-year-old, which at the time was, you know, oh, cool. I'm mature. I'm a good kid. But now it's kind of like, okay, well, now I missed out on a bunch of cool stuff.
Yeah, even Barton told me like when he first met you, like when your dad came over to like fix something at his house and you came with him.
My dad goes and fixes things at Barton's house all the time.
Yeah, but like, he said like he was so intimidated by you because you were just like a little man. You were a child,
Yeah.
but you were like a little man. Like you knew what you were doing and like you were so into it. And he said like he was so intimidated by you. Like so when you finally came here, he was just like, oh, it's a kid, and he didn't like he was still intimidated by you until like he heard you like crack a joke. I thought that was really
That's
funny.
funny. That's a funny story. I've only heard like the first half of that story before.
But yeah, he told me that, and I was like, that's so funny.
I don't think he ever mentioned the part about not being intimidated by me.
But you know, he was. He's always intimidated, but he is intimidated by you right now. He's like, Zach, do whatever you want. I feel like he does that anyway, but just because he likes
No,
you so
not
much.
quite.
Really? I
No.
feel like
The yearbook would be slightly different if I got to do whatever I wanted.
that's true. He's a little stubborn.
Yeah.
It's okay, Bart.
But anyway.
Anyway, moving on before we get kicked out.
Yeah, how much time do we have?
I feel like
We have like half an hour.
I feel like I kind of have asked this question a little bit.
Oh.
What?
So tense.
I feel like
This question sounds important.
I don't know if it is because I feel like we kind of approached it in our digression. Okay, the question was, do you think your father has any influence on you as a person and your growth? I feel like we've discussed that briefly.
A little bit.
Do you want to go
I think
more
that was more of a yes or no.
Okay, do you want to go more in depth? And like in how he has?
Sure. Well, I mean the whole, being around adults when I was a kid and well, being with him a lot. I mean, yeah, I guess I was with my mom and my grandma a lot when I was a little kid, but they tried to do fun kid stuff.
You needed that.
My grandma and I used to always do watercolors. It was pretty awesome.
Oh my gosh.
Because we had a little, we lived in a duplex. It was 2 stories. So we were on the bottom floor, and I drive by this place occasionally, and it is a piece of crap. But I didn't know that when I was 5 and 6 years old. But we had a big window that looked right out on some nice big condos right next to the beach. So we were pretty close to the beach, but we had this nice window, and so we could see outside. And so we'd just sit by the big window and paint with watercolors, and it was pretty fun. My grandma hasn't done that with Sam or Lucas or anybody else.
Do you feel special?
Yes, I feel very special. But my dad, when I was with him, it was for whatever reason. I went to work with him sometimes at the News Guard. That wasn't the most fun time, actually. I've had nightmares about that.
Oh.
No, not really.
Oh. I mean, like, we're
But I get flashbacks when we're in the journalism lab stuffing 45th parallels. Because they had a shed out behind the office where they they'd put all the leftover papers so the Kiwanis people could come and recycle them. And sometimes there would be like an insert or something that they needed to keep. And so I would go out to the shed and I'd spend the day pulling out these inserts.
Oh.
And it wasn't fun. I
That sounds
didn't
really
enjoy
sad.
it. But,
How old were you? You say 8, I'm gonna cry.
I don't know. I feel like I may have done that when I was 8, once or twice, but more like 9 and 10.
That's so sad.
More frequently when I was 11 and 12.
Okay.
I didn't enjoy that.
It
That
doesn't sound
wasn't
like fun at all.
But being around my dad was time that
That sounds pretty productive.
Yeah, most of the time. Otherwise, we'd be at like kite festivals and things where there were lots of old people, and you know, I needed to be
Serious.
yeah, I needed to be serious for the old people, not distracting.
You couldn't laugh. Old people couldn't
Well,
laugh.
no. Sure, I laughed, but I laughed at their old people jokes that I didn't understand. Oh yeah, that's funny. What are they talking about? Dad, tell me what they're talking about. Maybe when you're older.
Did you ever get to it when you were older?
No, probably not.
Dang.
Need to write these things down.
Just have it dusted down. So what did this joke mean?
Dad, when I was 7, your friend Dawn told this joke, and I didn't understand it. And I still kind of don't know what it means. Could you fill me in here?
Well, when a man meets a woman and they fall in love.
No. No.
I'm sorry, that was like the only thing I could think of. Okay. Alright, so we've kind of touched, you know, your dad.
Yeah.
And kind of a little bit of your other family, like your grandma and your mom, like a little bit, like very, very,
just a little bit.
very briefly.
But they're a different subject.
Well, not right now, because I have a
Oh,
question
damn.
about your mother. My question is, what influence does your mom have on your life? Like, compared to your father, who has the most influence on you?
I think they're both really influential people in my life. Not really in other people's lives.
Yeah, I barely.
Well, my dad is a significant influence on other people's lives.
I barely see your mom.
He gets too involved in things. But my mom is very, what's the word? Reclusive. She
I'm just picturing a spider.
She keeps to herself. She doesn't socialize a lot. She has a very select group of people that she socializes with, mostly her coworkers.
They feel like secret agents. Okay, we're meeting up at this time.
Yeah, basically. You know, she keeps to herself a lot. She stays home a lot. She doesn't, you know, go out and do things, which is why I would spend a lot of time with my dad, is because, you know, he went out and did things, which was, you know,
Fun and exciting.
nice for me to be able to go out and see things and do all this cool stuff. My mom, you know, she went to work, she came home, she made dinner, she read magazines.
She'd cut out coupons.
Yeah, she, you know, she didn't do all the fun, exciting going out and doing things.
Old people stuff.
Old people stuff. Which was fun and exciting at the time.
Old people.
Yay, old people stuff. I'm cool now because I can do big kid things.
Really big kid things.
Really big kid things.
Almost no kid things, because almost dead. But not yet.
What?
Nothing. It's talking about impending death.
Okay, I'm not gonna
Stop.
talk about that. I don't know what that is. Crap, what was I saying?
You're talking about like a big kid thing, like you were excited about to go out and be a part of those things of staying at home.
Okay, yeah, so I was gonna go somewhere.
Just gotta get in the car and drive, Zach. Were you driving your slow car today? Is that, okay, you're driving.
Check my dad's truck. Speaking of which, I need to go put gas in. Because it's almost out of gas.
Okay.
Gas.
You can do it during lunch, probably.
Maybe at lunchtime.
Go to Subway, they have $2 6-inch meatball and marinara subs. That's where I'm gonna go. And you can gas there.
Cool again. Where was I going? I was talking about my mom.
Yeah, you're talking about.
She doesn't do fun with people.
What a setback.
How I went and did fun with people. Oh! Okay.
So
Kind of a different point. But, yeah, I guess I was going to get into that. Yeah, so my mom is kind of the person I talk to about emotional stuff, like things that have to do with,
feeling.
yeah, Mom, I don't have any friends. Mom, this person was mean to me on the bus today.
Don't say this is really sad.
Mom.
Love me.
Mom, I'm sad and I don't know what to eat for dinner. But my dad, I talked to him about,
Productivity.
issues.
Yeah.
I don't know how to handle this situation. What do I do? I don't know how to get this job done. What do I do?
So there's a good balance
things
there.
like that. Yeah, kind of. Well, yeah.
Could it be better? What are you lacking that you need?
I don't know. I feel like the fact that I can't talk to my dad about emotional things just kind of detaches me from him.
Why do you think that's not a good topic to bring up with him?
I don't think he knows how to handle them. Or not that he doesn't know how to handle them, he doesn't know how to explain how to handle them.
Would you consider your father a very emotional man?
I don't know. Frankly, I have no idea. It's hard to, this comes back to how he thinks. I really don't know. No idea what his thought processes are, how he handles emotional things. I remember. Nope, that's a different topic. Never mind.
Don't leave us hanging.
I'm not going to talk about that.
Don't leave us hanging.
No, I don't want to talk about that. You can't make me.
Zach, we're here for a reason. We're here to talk about the stuff you don't want to talk about. I mean, if you want to stop now, just settle down.
Okay. This is an observation about my dad.
Okay.
Holidays seem to have some importance. They hold a special thing for him. Despite the fact that, my family, we don't sit down and have dinner together very often. Usually we'll just do that for birthdays, holidays, things like that. The rest of the time we get our dinner and we go do whatever else. And that's it. We don't spend a lot of time together. We don't do things together as a family. Which never really made sense to me, but okay, that's just how it works, whatever. For some reason, holidays have to be everybody is together for the holiday part of things. I remember 6th grade, I think. Maybe it was 5th grade, I don't remember. Christmas. This was, my dad still worked at the News Guard. Christmas was on Tuesday. Tuesday nights were when the newspapers came, and when he had to get them out to all the people, all the carriers, to go deliver them to people's houses. Mm-hmm. That was part of his job. So it was Tuesday. Christmas Eve was on a Tuesday. We do all we have dinner and presents and everything on Christmas Eve in the evening. Christmas Day, we just kind of get up in the morning and we get stockings full of dollar store junk, and then we go do whatever for the rest of the day. But Christmas Eve was a Tuesday, and he had to go to work right about 4 o'clock. The papers showed up at 4 o'clock. And, we were all grumbling about it, because it's like, this is so dumb, it's Christmas Eve, why does he have to go to work, this is stupid, but whatever. So he went. And then he took longer than we expected him to get back. We ended up waiting 2.5 hours, 3 hours maybe, for him to get back. So this is 6:30, 7 o'clock now, and we're waiting for him to get back before we eat dinner. All the food's getting cold. Me and Sam are getting anxious, and so we had dinner.
Without him.
We started without him. And we figured he'll be back in a few minutes, anytime now. So he'll just hop in and he'll be good. So we ate for a little while and he didn't get back. Kept eating, didn't get back. We finished dinner, he still wasn't back. So this is now like probably closer to 8 o'clock. At this point, he's been gone for like 4 hours. So we're just like, we don't know where he is now. We don't know what's going on. So we waited another half hour, 45 minutes before we got to presents and things. So Sam started opening his presents. My mom opened some of her presents. My grandma opened some of her presents. And I just sat in the corner of the room and waited for my dad to get home. And finally, once they opened up all their presents, all that was left was a couple of presents for my dad and some presents for me. And, you know, this is now getting pretty late at night, and I'm just like, I don't know what to do. But some of these are from Grandma. I don't want to make her wait all night to see me open these, so I started opening my presents. I waited as long as I thought I could, and my dad got home, and he waited long enough for my grandma to leave. To go home. And then he just exploded. It was... I haven't seen him get angry like that ever. That was the only time I've seen him get that angry. I mean, he's gotten angry and agitated about things before, but that was rage. And, you know, no physical violence. My dad's not beating anybody here, but, you know, he got angry, and it scared us a lot. And he left. He left the house. I don't think he came back until the next morning. I don't know where he was. He may have just gone out and slept in his truck out in the driveway. I don't know, but that was, I've always thought of that as kind of a turning point for me. You know, before that, yeah, I was pretty mature for a kid and everything, but at that point, I feel like I really, you know, turned around and said, I need to be better. And, you know, I've gone really far since then. You know, that, it just, I don't know. It was one of those things that really shocked me enough for me to be able to step back and say, okay, this needs to change. Yeah. And then this kind of takes me into Thanksgiving this year. I haven't talked to him about it, but, you know, Thanksgiving this year, he left in the morning. I didn't think much of it. I figured he was just going to go to work for a while and then he'd come back. So my mom's making dinner all day. I was doing something. I can't remember what I was doing now. Usually I help my mom with something for dinner, but she just kind of blew through everything and didn't seem to need any help, so whatever, I was doing something. So my grandma came over, we're setting the table and everything, and Dad's still not home. Okay. Alright. We're getting everything out, everything's, you know, most of the food's ready. About an hour before everything was ready, you know, I sent him a text message, because I figured he's just at work doing something. I sent him a text message and said, Mom is expecting to have dinner done at this time. Are we going to see you? And I never got a response. Okay. So we got the table all set. We sat there for a little while and just kind of waited to see if he'd come back. And at this point, I'm thinking, you know, this better not be Christmas all over again. That's not, you know, that's not going to work. So,
Has it been another 20 minutes already?